Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're alright, because it's time to still keep talking about post-Christmas 2026 because it's an absolutely wonderful time. So initially, as we've been keeping track of my progress, I basically announced to everybody, well, maybe it's probably the best time to sell your skins right about now, although you might want to consider waiting just a little bit longer until it's, January force wipe. Well, guess what? That's already happened. Technically, for me right now, it's the 3rd of January. We're just past midnight. In the most recent video, I talked about things that you could consider buying into, because of course, if you only have so many accounts, or rather just the one account, you're probably going to want to go ahead and start buying some things just so you can continue selling your Rust skins, because these Rust skins, they will eventually go back down in price again. During this period of time, it's like the perfect storm. So let's now quickly point this out to you. On the 1st of January 2026, when we had the force wipe, we saw a peak player count of 247,000. 1 hour in, there was 245, and a little bit after that, 247,000 people playing at the exact same time. Lovely. But that was the peak so far. And in comparison to the previous year, it's just about 10,000 short. But I was kind of anticipating this. I was basically under the impression, based on what I saw with December, that I was like, you know what? It kind of wouldn't surprise me if we will just be a little bit less. At the end of the day, if we're close enough, I'm more than happy with that. And let me tell you, I'm definitely more than happy with that. I'm perfectly fine. We'll be talking about all the sales I've been making, don't you worry. So anyway, that was the 1st of January, and about, several hours earlier, this is the 2nd of January, okay? Today, we only peaked at about 235,000. Now, this was to be expected. The literal first day of force wipe, you're going to see a lot of people turn up. But eventually, as time goes on, people are going to be like, I've lost. All right, bye. You get the idea. So, with lots of people playing at the exact same time, suddenly, there's a lot more demand for skins in general. And suddenly, well, if everybody's buying all the skins, and there's only so many to go around, of course, prices will be improving. Therefore, best time to sell your skins. So, okay, we get it. Post-Christmas is probably one of the best times to sell your skins. And of course, we have talked about how eventually, after a while, the demand will go down, and then inevitably, there will be the Easter dip. So March and April time, typically a lot of skin prices go down pretty badly then. So what I've said is that, you know what? You could just go ahead, look at your inventory right now, sell your skins now, and then wait maybe like 2-3 months, buy those skins back again. You'll buy them for a cheaper price, and you'll still have a lovely bit of profit. So that's definitely a consideration for you. But now, of course, I'll be showcasing what have I been up to over the past few days. Now, I've been so involved with trying to get some sales, I have unfortunately made a bit of a mistake. I forgot to get a screenshot at the right time for this. Uh-oh. So, okay, but how did you get the screenshot? You might have noticed I put up my predictions video. Well, I recorded that like 1 hour before 24 hours, so basically 23 hours in, and that's probably the best thing I have, because I only just realised now, oh hell no, oh no, like 3 hours after, sorry, whoops, but 23 hours is probably good enough. It's better than me recording it now, basically. So yeah, I just quickly looked at the predictions video I recorded, noticed I had that on screen, I definitely refreshed for it, so it's probably the best I'm going to do. So I do apologise if you noticed this. There's the explanation. And now, let's go ahead and point out the cause. Oh, well, hang on a minute, Hedge. Didn't you have a lot more funds? Like, in the previous video, you had more, right? Well, as I said, I had to go buy some things just so I can continue selling my Rust skins. So guess what I did? Oh, look at that. That's a very nice looking knife. And oh, look at these. Those are some very nice looking Glock skins for Counter-Strike. Now, I'd only consider doing this if you're knowledgeable and you understand what Counter-Strike is in terms of like the investing side of things and whatnot. If you vaguely know enough about Counter-Strike and its skins, a great thing to consider buying is skins in discontinued collections, all right? So that's definitely something you can consider. And of course, with the more recent skin sets that are added, well, eventually they will be removed, right? So Sport and Field Collection, that's a good look, I'm just saying. And yeah, I owe something to, I owe a few things to certain people, and oh, look, here you go, have a butterfly knife. So yeah, I'm very nice. So, all right, cool. So look around and consider things you could go ahead and buy. And, well, don't forget, you could still go ahead and buy some games. Steam sale lasts until the 5th of January, so by the time you're watching this on Saturday, couldn't hurt, couldn't hurt. Now, if I could just quickly refresh, I'd just like to confirm that Rust is now, what, 5th best? No, it's still the 4th best played game at the moment. Most played, I should say. But we did peak at 235,000 today, so it will slowly go down. But then we also still question, how many people are going to turn up for February? Yes, we still have to question that, don't we? Especially considering that the naval update comes out for it. Last year, we had 124,000 average player count for the month for January 2025. But then the following month, February, we had 121. There was hardly that much of a drop. And as you'll notice here, the peak player counts, there wasn't that much of a drop either. So what I'm saying is, perhaps you might notice that the prices actually still hold up quite nicely all the way into February as well. So maybe you don't need to sell so quickly. But then again, if you have a ridiculous amount of skins, like a certain individual here, maybe it probably is a good time to consider selling. Yes, I mean, it's up to you, but you get the idea. So like I said, you could consider selling some of your skins now, and then look again around March and April time. Ta-da! Oh, look, it's so cheap now that you can buy it, and oh, look at that sweet, delicious profit you still have. So it's up to you. You get the idea. Right then, so let's just quickly point out that, yes, I've been trading some skins over to other accounts because, of course, I can't sell it all on one account, and I'm sure you're fully well aware I do have multiple accounts. So if I could just quickly point this out, yep. Whilst I have been trying to keep track of all the funds, you might notice, hang on a minute, Hedge, 560? Yeah, that's what I was like early in the morning for January 2nd. So technically speaking, it's early in the morning for January 3rd now, isn't it? Oh, you get the idea. So about, let's say about 24 hours ago, I had about, $1,000 worth less. Yep. Yep. So basically, within 24 hours, $1,000 worth of skins have been sold. Got lots of funds in this account, and I feel like that really does illustrate the point that, oh, okay, then, yeah, it's probably not too hard to sell your skins. Nope. So lots of interesting skins appearing on the front page, quantities going down, but as time goes on, you'll probably notice quantities increasing. I've got to say, a lot of skin collections are going up in value quite nicely as well, so we'll talk more about that in a bit. But now, let's quickly switch over to here and show you this. So, back in November 18th, or on November 18th, I only had 2 accounts that could do barders. It wasn't a fun time. And I had a lot of accounts here with only double digits. Now, in certain instances, the funds got real low. But as time has progressed, you'll notice that I've only got 2 accounts now with only double digits. And well, I've got 3 accounts with 4 digits. My hope, my aim, is that I'll have every single account with maxed out funds. So it's 1,700 for my currency. And I'm getting there. I certainly am. But of course, you can only fill it up to a certain point. And if you want to still sell skins in that account, you have to purchase things. So of course, I'm also keeping track of all the things I'm buying. So I'd just like to point out, I did commit to buying sandbox stuff. I bought the reindeer set. Oh, that was pretty pricey. Oh my. It was probably equivalent to about $160 to buy 10 sets. Ooh. But then I bought like 10 telecom conspiracist helmets, 10 fisherman caps, 10 life jackets, 10 banana slippers. Now, fingers crossed. When Sandbox releases in early 2026, here's hoping it's got a decent amount of people playing it, all right? If it's got just a portion of the success that Roblox has, you should anticipate a lot of people playing it, and of course, potentially all the valuable cosmetics in it to go up ever so nicely as well. So, cool, I understood. Now, of course, I've also got the Glock Axios right there, got the butterfly knife, and trust me when I say there will be a lot more. As you might notice, the TF2 paint, 200 gingerbread sheet metal double doors. I felt the need to do it because it looked really good. Also, pay-to-win features and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. So, I don't know when I'm going to stop, but I don't want to think about that right now. To be honest with you, I think I've got another solid 2 weeks of sales, and if there is enough anticipation, naval update, yeah, I think we'll probably see the momentum stick around for a while. That's what I hope for. So let's now start talking about the other accounts. So, switching over to here, this account, it probably had about $60 24 hours ago, Well, now, just like to confirm, it's got almost $400 to $450 worth. Yeah, lots of sales are happening. And like I said, I've been trading skins over from one account to another, and lo and behold, oh, look at that. That's a lot of interesting looking sales. Oh, yes, indeed. So you might notice I am putting an effort in to sell my storage collection skins because I'm concerned about this box's DLC. At the end of the day, I'm still making profit. I'm not going to complain. So, all right, cool. Understood. Now, you don't have to sell everything, right? You might be attached to certain skins and whatnot. I'm not saying no, but like I said, in most instances, it is expected that right now, the skins you own are probably reaching peak prices, as in it's never been that high before. But then eventually, give it a month or two, it will start going down, and around March and April time, they will drop off. I must have mentioned this about several times already, but I really got to get that point across to you. So you want to get these sales done sooner rather than later, because of course they won't be like this for a while. Not until maybe the summertime. And that's probably about half a year to go, right? Right then, so what about other accounts? Let's switch over to here. So this is one of the accounts that's almost maxed out. I still have the issue of the account still buying a bunch of things, and I might have to consider removing some barders. All right, all good. It's nice to see that I'm still picking up things for cheap. Like, do you reckon the wallpapers for Halloween will actually rise up in price in anticipation for Halloween next year? I certainly hope so, because I have been picking up a bunch of these. Anyway, we'll see how that turns out. And then over to here in this account, yep, this also has some decent sales. Now, a good few days ago, it only had about £20 on it, which would be equal to about $30. And now it's got 300-ish pounds, which is now pushing closer to $400. So, all right, cool. I've been spreading it about. I've been doing a whole bunch of sales. It has been working out very, very nicely, okay? Now, by all means, this is your time to now step forward. How much have you sold? How much have you gained? What have you bought? Because, of course, like, now is a great time to probably spread the wealth or spread the investments. So, with your rush skins, if you sold a bunch of things, have you also now invested into other things like Counter-Strike? Did you buy some TF2 paint? Did you also consider buying some sandbox things? Maybe like Dota. I don't understand a thing about Dota, but you can talk about it if you want. And eventually, if there's other games that come out in the future with interesting economies, like you got to talk about like Deadlock maybe. Deadlock from TF2, Valve, who also made TF2, very likely also have an economy in the future. Wouldn't surprise us, would it? No. So, yeah, there's lots of things to look forward to potentially in the future, but as of now, I've already mentioned about, investing into other things in the previous video. So, let's now hop back over to here. Just want to quickly point out with the current Rust store, if we had some really interesting looking skins, I'd have sat here and said, yeah, we could go buy out a bunch of this, a bunch of that. You get the idea. There wasn't really any skins like that this Rust store, though. Although I would say, certain skins here are not really selling that much at all, which is quite a surprise. Now, just to clarify, we are about 27 hours in since the Rust store rotated, and this is what the sales look like right now. Some of you might sit there and say, oh, but the doors look nice. The doors are selling far too much. And, of course, we do expect a lot more garage doors, potentially quite a lot more armoured doors. And, will a space station building skin actually be popular in the future? So, all right, cool, understood. But if you want to go, like, if you really just want to hope for the best and just go ahead and grab something, honestly, long term, I think the MP5 is probably a good shout. I think the bed's selling a little bit too low, but then again, we know we're going to see a lot more beds this year, and we do anticipate that. But if this ends up with less than 10,000 subscribers, and if we do see more of this collection, all right, there you go. So even the current Rust store is still perfectly fine thing to consider in some instances, but it would be a bit of a risk. Well, if you wait a good, let's say 5 days when we do the abnormals, certain skins here might look a whole lot more interesting, but we have to wait until then to fully figure that out, basically. So, all right, fair enough. Right then, so, Hedge, you've been talking about, like, how certain skins have gone up in value from certain collections. Yeah, I could talk about that. So, Abyss collection, just to really get the point across, talking about how right now is probably the best time to sell your skins. I was surprised to see the Abyss Tier 3 has actually gone up in price very, very nicely. Now, you might sit there and say, what's so special about this? Well, when the Abyss collection first came out, the tier 3 sold quite a lot. About 27,000 subscribers each here, right? But it then took a while until we saw the tier 2. And the tier 2 sold a lot less. Tier 2 did about, 15 to 17,000 subscribers, getting there, yeah? Oh, hang on a minute. That's about 10,000 less in comparison to tier 3. Uh-oh. And then the Hoodie and Pants came out, and that only did about 14,000 subscribers. Uh-oh. And then the Boots and Gloves, they sold even less. Uh-oh. So for a very long time, whilst this whole collection's been doing very well for itself, and with the prices holding up very nicely for these clothing and armour pieces, the tier 3, due to the fact that, they had too much of it in comparison to all of this, it was struggling. But now I look at the chest plate. And now, I should have shown it in dollars, sorry. It's not so impressive. I was sitting there with like a dramatic sort of like pause, but then you probably wouldn't have noticed. Yeah, this is now sitting here over $2, which if you looked at this earlier this year, or rather early last year, you would be incredibly surprised by that. So yeah, it's been struggling at around 80 cents for a very long time. But now it's pushing up and over $2. Huh. And yeah, that's genuine demand. I've been selling quite a lot of these. So yeah, the beauty and awesome, lovely time that is post-Christmas. Oh, it is wonderful. So yeah, it was an already in-demand collection, but there's a lot of this. But because the demand was there, the price is still improved. So, all right, that's cool. That's nice to see. I guess you could also point out like Legacy Kevlar. Do you remember like 2 years ago when Legacy Kevlar got the Hoodie and Pants and it sold far too much? Look at it now. Oh, wow. Okay, well, the pants are in the positive very comfortably and the hoodie's getting there. It's not perfect, but it is getting there. I think I bought 50 of these straight from the Rust store and then I bought a whole bunch of them with my buy orders. Well, it's not too bad now. Look at that. Oh no. Well, you know what? I was not expecting this, but that is a perfect example. We saw the pants comfortably in the positive and doing very nicely. All of this is nice and green, except you. And we know exactly why. Because a certain individual, an other person, decided to list 81 of these. We've already talked about this, haven't we? If you unload all of your stock and all in one go, it's completely put this at a halt. That can't comfortably rise all the way up into the positive now, all the way above $2 now, can it? No. Because this individual thought it was a smart idea to do that. Oh, he might sit there and say, but I was lazy. You're also stupid because you've just probably killed your own potential profits. Now, I don't want to sound mean, but it's true. Why would you want to ruin your own potential profits? Let's look at the pants. Are they better? So let's go ahead and showcase that this is now sitting here about $2.60. And you notice how there's no like 80 big fat stack of listings. No. It's only got 60 in total. It's very thin, and that has risen up in price very nicely. And if it keeps the momentum, it'll probably push all the way up to $3. Now, at the end of the day, considering all the other blackout alternative options, it might take a while for that to happen. But do you see what I mean? Nice and clear, very thin. And then we switch back over to here. 80, 10, 16, 10. What are you doing? So, yeah, unfortunately, other people exist. They don't really know how this all works, and they just do stupid things like that. I also just want to point out 100 sales in the past 24 hours over to here. It doesn't say it there, but if you scroll down over to here, it'll tell you. Yep, 79. Do you see how that's been rising up very, very nicely? And then we go over to here. It's probably risen up very nicely as well. But this will most likely continue, and you'll notice it's a lot higher. And then over to here, it's been going up. But has it started to stagnate? Yes, it has. So until that person removes that big fat stack of listings, this probably will not be rising up that much more for a long time now. If anything, you'll probably start noticing that this will probably go down. Will this be chipped away fast enough? Or will other people just start thinking, you know what, I don't want to wait until that disappears. I'll just start listing mine below it. And chances are it's the latter that'll be happening. So, we'll see what becomes of that. So, I did not expect that to happen, but that was actually a very nice quick showcase. A nice little, yeah, you get the idea. Don't dump. Let it rise and let it flow. Cool. So, all right, lovely stuff. Looking pretty sweet. Now, one thing I definitely need to get round to doing, and I do plan to do this, right? Throughout 2025, I was actually keeping track of all the things I bought, and, well, maybe this is something you ought to start doing for 2026. Now remember, with how I approach everything, I like to do the abnormal barders first, and then I consider making some purchases. Now, for January 2025, like I said just a minute ago, I looked at some of the skins last year and I thought, you know what? Maybe a nice long-term investment would be to go ahead and buy some of the skins here and just wait it out. Surely in the future they could work out all right. But based on what you just saw with me, I was selling so many skins right now, and even back then as well, of course, and I had so much funds to work with that I thought, you know what? I'll just go buy a bunch of those things. Surely it'd be all right. Well, was it? That'll be a nice little discussion for a nice video that we'll put out maybe a week or two time. We'll see. Right, so cool. But let's just look at one of these. Ramen large box, for example. Let's go take a quick look at you. So the ramen collection was progressing very nicely, and I do believe, what was it? Last year, early January time, we saw a collection continuation appear. Yeah, it's not like one collection on here, it's a bit odd. Anyway, there you go. Garage door, sheet metal door, and then, early last year, we saw the ramen large box being accepted. Now, I also saw, like, many other skins being made after that, and just before. So we saw like a sheet metal double door, wooden double door. You get the idea. Lots of skins were being made for this proposed ramen collection. So seeing that being accepted, and with that appearing, causing this to spike a price very nicely, I thought, you know what, maybe that might be a good pop, you know. Let's give it a shot. Surely we'll see more skins being accepted after that. Well, about that, well then, I sure hope we see like the vending machine and whatnot in the future, but yeah, So just want to point out, it doesn't always work out perfectly. As you might have noticed, the ramen large box was down by 33%. Awkward. Yep. But it's fine. You know, give it time. I'm sure it'll work out eventually. Like I said, I bought 50 of the Legacy hoodie and pants straight from the rush store, and they instantly went down a price. And at their lowest, they're selling for like 70 cents each. But look at it now. Being blockaded by a fool. Anyway, so let's just keep talking. So, have you noticed the loot boxes doing quite all right? Get a quick look at you. Let's look at you in dollars. Now, at the moment, they'll be doing good. But in the grand scheme of things, because we have so many weapon skins and whatnot constantly being added, you might notice it's trending down. Yeah, so this is when the offline TV era happened, and ever since then it's been a slow decline because more and more people are playing the game and more skins are being added to the game. It's not too surprising to see such a thing. But yeah, right now, a nice bit of an improvement, considering all skin prices are improving at the moment, because there's a big demand for everything. And then over to here. Oh, actually, you know what? I might talk about you in a second. And over to here. High quality crate. You'll most likely notice that, oh wow, how many sales did that have? Let's just quickly go over to here. 896. Let's show liquidity. Oh, there you go. Some big spikes with the big price rise. Yes, that's how many sales? 1,160. It looks like around Christmas Day, loads of kids thought, you know what? Let's go gambling. Fools, don't do that. Well, you can't stop them, but yeah. I actually don't remember what the most valuable thing is you can get in this. Just to remind all of you, this is for deplorables. You know what? I actually don't know off the top of my head. I think you can get some very nice things, true, but you won't be able to get like the Halloween sleeping bag, for example, the 2015 one. Grave? What's it called? You know what it is. Feel free to comment below. Anyway, so even this has likely gone up in price, but then, of course, inevitably it will go down again. So look at that. Yep. Now, it hasn't been down real bad for a while. Look at that. So autumn fall seasonal dip, November time, 2024. That got really, really cheap. And right now, it's doing a lot better. So, all right, cool. But same thing, rose up in price very high around 2021. And since then, it has been on a downward trend. But, of course, you would expect it to probably just stagnate for a while now. We'll see. Anyway, as time has gone on, more and more deplorable skins have been accepted. And, well, yeah, you're very likely to see these in here. And it's going to lose value as well. We'll see. All right, cool. Camouflage skins. Even the Snowcamo Jacket. Now, this happened back in the summer, and I honestly don't blame people. I really do need to get around and showcase this a whole lot better. But anyway, this past summer, so half a year ago, it's just the past summer, it wasn't that long ago. But I'd just like to point out, it was a higher price. This was selling for like a comfortable $2.50 price. Right now, it's sitting here at $2.30-ish. If I just look at it over to here, oh, well, there you go, $229. To be honest with you, it probably could rise up even more so. But what you see here, this is one of the skins that you get for absolutely free. You know when you just play for a while and it just randomly gives you a skin? Most of the time it's like a beanie hat or a t-shirt, but that is one of the skins you can get. Just so happens to be some pretty nice, cheap white camouflage. So I'm not sure what this guy's doing, but honestly, you probably could remove that and it'll probably rise up even higher. But of course, it's another instance where it's like one individual decided, oh, I'll just unload everything. Now, this is different because, like I said, it's something you get for free. So that in theory, there would be a lot more of this in circulation. Compared to like a skin you can buy from the Rust store on the Steam market, it is different, all right? But even things like this, when times are good, oh yeah, that gets bought out and that rises ever so nice. So look at that. An interesting upward trend. We'll probably peak and go above that. And then the summertime for 2026 will go up even higher. We'll see how that goes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, lovely. So, keep an eye out for things like this in the future, because you would notice that every single season, when it's bad, it goes down. And every single season, when it's good, it goes up. Perhaps that might be a nice long-term investment. But you got to wait for a while now. You got to wait until it's April, March time. And just to kind of get the point across, oh, look, it's January 2024, and it rose up to a brand new all-time peak price. But look what happened afterwards. A low point around April time. This was $1 back in April 2025. And if you bought a whole bunch of these and just waited a good 3-4 months, you would have probably walked away, easily doubling your funds. Well then, perhaps that might be something to consider in just a few months' time. Just saying. Just saying. I mean, just saying. But not right now. Again, its price is improving very nicely at the moment. Anyway. So, yeah. Got to constantly keep an eye out for things that could work out right in the future. When it comes to older skins, honestly, just look at their sales history. That was incredibly easy to look at, wasn't it? Same would apply to like whiteout skins and blackout skins and whatnot. They've been around for a long time. Just notice Snowcamo pants. I thought you were nice and cheap and affordable. Technically, you still are, especially compared to whiteout, for example. But wow, you're pushing up to $1.50. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, my. Are you exactly like the Snowcamo jacket? Looks like it. Well, then. What did we just learn just a second ago, huh? What happens when it's no longer January time? Okay, well, I'm just saying. Anyway, so that's all looking pretty sweet. But once again, I ask you, what have you got up to? What have you managed to sell? How much have you sold? You could give me a random estimate. You don't have to be like give me super specific numbers. Also, what have you considered buying? It shouldn't hurt to like ask, I guess. Like honestly, some things I've done in the past is just buy Counter-Strike cases. Now again, you should be reasonably knowledgeable of like the game and you know its economy and whatnot. But if I were to suggest something, if I could just quickly switch over to here. What was it called? God, what was the case called that begins with G? That isn't the glove case. Oh no, you've forgotten the name. I forgot it. I'm so sorry. Was it G? Because what I was going to suggest was cases like the Fever case are probably a very good shout because it's expected that they'll get replaced eventually. Although there's quite a commotion, right? There is quite a commotion that Valve will eventually remove cases from Counter-Strike. What was the previous case called? Well, if you just go to CS Cases, you'll probably find a very useful website. Let's go with csgoskins.gg. There you go. So I'm thinking of... It's not here. Where is it? I've lost it. Cases, gallery case. There you go. This was removed. This was removed, or it's supposed to be removed. I don't fully remember. But anyway, what value are you right now? Let's go to view container. Can I look at it on the Steam market, please? Where is the link? There it is on Steam. It's not very well pointed out. They really do need to emphasize that a little bit better. Anyway, click. So, yeah, that's pushing up to $1.50. And as time goes on, it will gradually go up and up and up and up and up. The skins will increase in value. The knife, well, hopefully would increase in value. But as time goes on, as less and less of these are available, the value goes up and up and up and up and up. So it has been stagnating for a while. It is also a nice consideration. Now, this is probably like the most approachable, easy thing to consider, but you very likely will have to sit here for a while to see it really go up in price nicely. It's not like Counter-Strike from years ago, where I could go ahead and buy a whole bunch of like Phoenix cases, for example, for like pennies, sit in it, wait about 4 years because I technically forgot about it. And then you find out that, oh, wow, cool. Sadly, that's now selling for about $6 a piece. Yeah, those days are gone, 100%, I'm sorry to say. So, all right, cool. If you're reasonably knowledgeable of Counter-Strike, a very nice consideration. FIFA case probably is a good shout. And I do want to grab a bunch of these myself. And if Valve does turn around and say, yep, we're abolishing cases, they can't remove the cases from the game. They'll just simply stop adding them to the game. Therefore, all cases currently in the game very likely will then become a whole lot more valuable. And you just got to sit in it. You just got to sit and wait. That's all you got to do. So, all right, cool. That's all sweet. And yeah, that's basically it. So we did look at a few skins. We did notice how certain things have been rising up very, very nicely. Just look at the sales history. Honestly, that's all you need to do. Just look at the sales history, see how it's behaved as a recent, and then you'll probably realise, you know what, it's probably a good shout to consider selling. Island Assault Team Kilt, yeah, we'll save you for last. Let's go ahead and look at you. So, oh wow, you've gone above your Rustore price. Oh, what a beautiful day. I think I bought 200 of these straight for the Rustore. Well, let's go ahead and find out. You've got it listed here. Right, Rustore purchases. When were you available? I think it was like the summertime. Island Assault Team Roadside Gloves. You're after that. Okay, I bought 200 straight from the Rustore. So that was, what, $1.49 each? Right now, I can't sell them for a profit. But I just want to point out, we saw how bad this went, didn't we? Scroll. Learn from the past. At its lowest point, oh wow, this is selling for about 70 cents each. 70 cents USD. And a lot of you probably sat there and thought, well, yeah, this is doomed. I don't want to go near it. But look at it now. And just to clarify, its lowest point was actually about 60 cents. Anyway, it's now selling for almost $1.60. I mean, if you remove that straggler right there, suddenly it's $1.60. And yeah, that basically looks like it almost tripled in price. Interesting. So, all right, at the very least, doubled in price. Does it stop soon? Probably, but not for another week or so, I'd say. So, sale now? Sure. Or, and this is the worst thing ever, you could probably wait a little bit. Really? Oh, if I wait until next year, it might go up even higher, and I could be even more happier. Yeah, surely. Don't think like that too much. Take it from the guy that had over 55,000 skins. You can keep thinking that every single year, hoping that next year it's even better, and chances are you might be right. But chances are you'll probably end up being a hoarder like me. So if you don't want that to happen, all right, maybe consider getting those sales in whilst you can. Or hold on to it if you want to. But let me tell you, doing all these trades and whatnot is not fun. It is not fun. So totally up to you. But, you know, you start making one extra account and 2 and 3 and suddenly you have about 9. So, yeah, it's totally up to you. But I've put the warning out there to you, okay? Right? So keep that and take that into consideration. Cool. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on this Rustore. Maybe next week's Rustore might have some more interesting skins. But don't forget, throughout the year, there will be a whole lot more skins. And perhaps they might, you know, maybe we'll see an interesting pay-to-win sheet metal double door again. And suddenly my 200 purchase of the gingerbread from this past Christmas Rustore suddenly not look so special anymore. Life is cruel, and, well, it probably will laugh at you as well. So not everything will work out perfectly. If you do enough good and have more positives compared to your negatives, you should still work out right. So, all right, cool. Best of luck to each and every single one of you. Try and get the sales in still if you can. And honestly, just keep track of things. It's nice to see your own progress. Yeah, lost my tongue. It's getting late. I need to go to bed. So I've been yapping now for about more than half an hour. Yeah, it's getting late. So I'll probably go ahead, remove the skins that have sold. Or what I'm saying is the ones that are in the red. Basically, if someone has listed below me, I will then remove that and then relist it at a lower price. So I can see all of this thanks to Steam Inventory Helper, which is a Chrome extension, and other helpful things like Augmented Steam are also helpful as well. So look, there you go. That's been under, yeah, that's someone's listed below me, someone's listed below me, someone's listed below me. That's fine. With these two, I sold them in a batch of like 4 or 5, so yeah, it's all good. All right, anyway, that's it. That's a wrap. Let's just see if I've made some more sales. Not in that particular instance, but then again, I think I've refreshed like several times. What about over to here? 369 is now 378. Lovely. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.